So I was on my phone looking for this particular type of cabinet, mainly because of the hardware, and this is what popped up in my news feed, and it almost has the same exact shape as the cabinet in my dining room, so this serves as the inspiration for transforming my cabinet. I am at Home Depot and I think I found two perfect trims. One will be at the top of my cabinet and one will be at the bottom. This is the cabinet. I purchased this cabinet at Goodwill for $25. I'm going to use this plastic wood to mask the design that's on the front so that it has a flat front like the inspiration cabinet. So I'm starting by removing both of the doors from the top of the cabinet. Next, I'm going to remove these slats from the doors by cutting out the slats. I'll use the plastic wood to fill in those holes, and then I'm going to sand these down. Once they've fully been sanded, I go ahead and stain them. This is the design that's going to go in the front of the door, and I'm cutting it out of a very thin piece of wood, and then I'm going to sand it and add it to the front of the door. This is the box I'll be using in order to cut my trim. It'll allow me to cut the corners at a 45-degree angle. Next, I'm going to remove this trim from the top of the cabinet so that the trim that I add can lay flat. Then I'm going to remove the trim from the bottom of the cabinet so that that trim can lay flat as well. I will pre-drill all of the holes that I'll be using to nail in the trim. This way I don't have to worry about my nails bending or getting broken. Okay, so in order to make sure all of my pieces line up, I'm actually sitting a paint stirrer on the floor and then sitting the piece of trim on top of that paint stirrer, and then I'm nailing in the piece of trim. This way I can be sure that A, it's not scraping on the floor, and B, it's the same height all the way around the cabinet. I use a very similar process when I'm working with the trim at the top of the cabinet. I pre-drill the holes and then I use the same nails and my hammer to add the trim to the top of the cabinet. Once I added all of my trim, I went with my putty and filled in all of the gaps and the holes, and now I'm just sanding the entire cabinet from the top to the bottom in order to make sure that all the surfaces are smooth. I'm back at it. I plan to finish it up this go round. However, there are some details like this rope detail on the trim that I just feel like won't fit the rest of the cabinet. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove it. And although it is like glued down, I do feel like it should be easy to kind of just pop off. Well, it is in places, but there's no point in having this if it's not repeated anywhere else in the design. I feel bad because I actually spent like an extra $2 or whatever on getting this particular trim, and I could have just bought the plain trim. So I will say, when deciding how you want your updated cabinet to look, I would definitely consider your trims. Here I'm just sanding and really doing some buffing because of the glue that held on that decorative piece. I'll be using this chalk paint that I created in another video, and it's actually linked above if you would like to make your own chalk paint. And chalk paint is a one-coat paint. I'm adding on the hardware, and now I'll add that decorative element to the door. I like the element, but I decided to go ahead and do the cabinet without it. And here's my finished product. For more inexpensive design inspiration, be sure to spend your weekends with Winnie. Bye!